welcome back to the studio. And happy Halloween to all of you who actually celebrate this holiday. Not everybody does. I don't know if this is a holiday that happens in other countries. It's one that's celebrated here in the U.S. I don't so much celebrate it. I'm not into the scary stuff. I'm not into the scary movies. But I do like creating with the cute Halloween stuff. So for this special holiday video, I am using the Playful Ghost stamp set. Now this is a standalone stamp set that's in our online exclusives. So that means it's while supplies last. At the time that I'm filming this, it is still currently available. We just don't know with online exclusives that when we have them, we don't know how long they're actually going to last. So if this looks like a really cute stamp set you would like to have in your stash, then be sure to head on over to my online store. There is a link for it in the description of the video. So I have, so if you're joining me again, this is my second video for today. Earlier, I had posted my Throwback Thursday video in which I used the Retired Ghoulish Goodies stamp set. That too is a standalone stamp set. So this year it turns out that Thursday is also not only my Throwback Thursday, but then Halloween also falls on Thursday as well. So a double video day. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow on Friday, that's going to be a double video day too. The first of each month, I do my monthly Christmas card inspiration, in which I create two fairly simple duplicatable cards that give you some inspiration in creating your Christmas cards. I will be using the Yuletide Village stamp set. This is a standalone stamp set that's currently in our holiday mini catalog. So I will have that posted early tomorrow morning. And then at 7 p.m., I will be going live right here on my channel for my Friday Night Live. And now with November, everything is going to pretty much be Christmas through Christmas. So I will be featuring the Reindeer Days Sweet Collection that is also in our holiday mini catalog. And so if you have nothing going on, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, be sure to come and join me. We do have some nice conversation while I'm creating the projects. And then I also do, what do I do? I do a wheel of names in which you can win one of the cards that I make in that live. So I hope you can join me for that. Before I start, Stampin' Up! Has a couple of things going on. And if you are watching this on October 31st of 2024, then today's the last day for these, and I just want to make mention of them again. Like I said, it's the last day for it, so I just want to make you aware of it. So currently, our kits that are in our kits collection, you can find these in the online store. There is a link that'll take you directly there in the description of the video. All of our kits in the kits collection, this does not include Paper Pumpkin. You can save up to 30% off on them. The options you have, there's card kits, there's treat packaging, there's home decor, and so much more. Again, that sale ends on today, October 31st. Like I said, there is a link in the description that'll take you to the online store directly to where the kits collection are. Another thing that is also happening. Now, there's not an end date on this. This started, I believe, a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. If you are not aware, Stampin' Up, no, Close to My Heart had closed their doors, and Stampin' Up had um, had worked with them, and they had brought on some of their makers along with their customers. And at one point, only those makers and their customers were able to purchase any of the Close to My Heart product that Stampin' Up had purchased. Now, it had since opened up to where everybody can purchase the products. And now what they're doing is, I think it's all the branded stuff that has Close to My Heart on it. So it's some of their scrapbooking workshop kits, their two-tone cardstocks, their inks, and and they're even including like their flip flaps, and I think there are also like some stamp and die bundles that are in there as well. I think they're just looking to sell the product that has the Close to My Heart name on it. And going forward, uh, I don't think they're going to be carrying on the Close to My Heart colors. And we will have two-tone cardstock, but it will be in the Stampin' Up colors rather than the Close to My Heart colors, and the same goes for the ink as well. Now, there are some items in there that Stampin' Up will continue to carry, and that is those flip flaps and some of the page protectors and albums. Now, I'm not a scrapbooker, so if you are into scrapbooking, I have a link to the page that has all of the Close to My Heart products. Go over there and check it out and see what's left. Like I said, I think they're just looking to sell the product that has the actual Close to My Heart name on it. Now, I didn't see an end date as far as when this sale ends, so I think it basically while supplies last of the products. One other thing that's happening that ends today is the starter kit special. Typically, the starter kits are $99 plus tax. The shipping is free, and you would choose $125 in product of your choosing. So this is product that can be in either one of our current catalogs. It's whatever you find in the online store. So it can be, from the kids collection. It can be what's in the clearance rack, the online exclusives. You can include that stuff in your starter kit. Also, there are some items in the online exclusives that right now demonstrators are able to pre-order, and they'll become available to customers in November. I believe it may be the 4th or 5th of November when they become available. But when you do the starter kit, you have the option to choose any of those items that are in the pre-order into your starter kit. Now, like I said, typically the starter kit, it's $99 plus tax. The shipping is free, and you would choose $125 in product. During this special, you get to choose an additional $30 in products, so a total of $155. Now, in your starter kit, in addition to that, you do receive some business type material. So you'll get a box of our current annual catalog. You'll get a package of our current mini holiday catalog. You'll also receive a past paper pumpkin kit, so you can see what that's all about. Now, when you join Stampin' Up and you receive the starter kit, and you become a demo, you don't have to do what it is that I do and what many other demonstrators are doing, where they're building a Stampin' Up business, meaning they're doing the videos, they're holding in-person classes. You could simply just purchase the products at a discount. and there's no commitments, so you can do this for as long as you want. There is a quarterly minimum that you would have to meet, and you don't have to meet that until the end of March of next year. Uh, with this, when it comes to my team, there's, um, you know, everyone's joined just wanting the discount, and that's totally fine. I will never ever push you into doing anything you don't want to do. Uh, some of my members of my team or my family, as I like to refer them as, they do have an interest where they may want to do some videos and build a business, and that's fine. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have, and so if you have any questions at all regarding this, feel free to reach out to me. My email is in the description of the video, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And again, there's no commitment to this. Um, give it a try. If you want to receive a discount on your products, you start off with a 20% discount, and then when you hit a certain threshold in sales in a rolling 12-month calendar, you can actually increase that discount up to 25% off on your products. And again, there's no commitment. I mean, if you don't meet the quarterly minimum, you just simply go back to being a customer, and you're able to join back up, at any time. And again, there's no questions asked. It's not, if it's not something you want to do after you have signed up, no problem at all. And again, if you have any questions at all regarding it, feel free to reach out to me. But again, this special will end today, October 31st of 2024. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, typically I do those on my at the beginning of my Friday night lives, but since today's the 31st, it's the last day for it, I just wanted to bring it up one last time. Okay, so Playful Ghosts, this is what we're playing with today for my Halloween holiday video. So for my first card, I have a piece of basic gray. This measures 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4.25. I have another piece of basic gray. This measures 5 by 3.25. And ahead of time, I went ahead and I embossed it using, let me grab it in here. I used the Dashing Designs 3D embossing folder. This is currently in our annual catalog. And then out of the, the Stylish Shapes dies. This set of dies right here. I use this for like all of my projects in this video. I had die cut one of the larger squares out of Berry Burst, and then another one out of a scrap piece of basic white, and then the little tiny banner die out of that set. That's another scrap of basic white, and I do have an extra one just in case if it doesn't stamp good the first time. And then this here, this measures, I don't have my little printout of these, so I have to measure it. So it is 5 by 1, that 1/2 by 1/2. Now this comes from, this is the Berry Burst Old Olive and White Glimmer specialty paper. So it comes in your Berry Burst. There is the Old Olive and the white, and I'm actually using this on all 3 of my projects, so you'll see the other colors as we go. All right, so I'm going to take my card base and I'm going to fold and burnish this. Now on all of these projects, I will be doing some coloring with my Stampin' Blends. Okay. Then on this piece right here, I'm going to attach these two. Now there's a reason why I'm doing it this way instead of just gluing the pieces down, because if I put them together up front, then I can center the whole thing on my card base. So I'm going to take these two pieces, I'm going to kind of line them up next to each other. I'm going to bring in some Scotch tape and I'm going to join these two together like so. Add my tape. This makes it a little bit easier when I go to put them down, to put this piece down. Now on here I can see that my Glimmer paper kind of extends a little bit past 5 inches. So I am going to bring in my mini guillotine paper cutter. Now this was, this is not something Stampin' Up! Carries anymore. This was something that was part of a promotion during celebration for those that had joined Stampin' Up! So you can find something very, very similar to this over on Amazon. Okay, so what I'm doing with this trimmer, I want to have a nice, clean, straight cut. So I can do this with my paper snips. But what I'd like to do is, with my paper trimmer, I will put this in and I'll have this edge of the cardstock right up against the edge of the trimmer. And I'll bring the arm down just a little bit so I can put it up against it. And then I will just go and trim it. And now it's even. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal, take the cap off. I'm going to add now I do have a fan on over here. Hopefully you're not hearing it in the microphone of the phone. It is a little warm in here at the moment. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to center this on my card base. Okay, and I'm going to set that aside. And my piece of my berry burst, I'll set that aside as well. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. I'll make it a little bit easier for me to see where I'm stamping on here. Now, because I am using my Stampin' Blends, I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm going to do my Vampire Ghost. I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. Okay. And I just made it on the edge there. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in my Stays On ink. Now, I'm going to stamp my greeting, my Happy Halloween. Now, the reason why I'm using my Stays On for the greeting is because the Stays On, it is a solvent ink, and the black is more intense than the Memento. Okay, so I am going to stamp this like so. Okay. Looks like it could go up just a little bit. And like I said, I die cut an extra one just in case. I just want to come up with it a little bit higher. Okay, that's much better. So I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. I'll close this up. And then I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Scrub. When you're using StazOn, because it's a solvent ink, if you clean it right away, then you won't need that StazOn cleaner to get them clean. And like I mentioned in the other video that I did today for my Throwback Thursday, I did make mention about using the StazOn ink on your photopolymer stamps and also cleaning them. You will not get the StazOn ink off of your photopolymers. And if you use the StazOn cleaner on it, you got to be careful with that, because one, it's going to smear the ink like all over the stamp and you won't be able to see through it anymore. Plus, you don't want to keep any of that cleaner on your photopolymer, because what it'll do is it'll start to break down your photopolymer and it'll mess them up. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to bring in my blends. So for this one, I have my light and dark berry burst. I have my dark smoky slate and my light basic black. And then I have the ivory marker. So I'm going to start off with my light black. And I'm going to kind of do my shadow areas here on the cape. Do the inside here. And do up here. All right. All right, and then I'll do back here. All right, now I'm not really looking to blend these colors, so I'm going to let that dry before I add my dark smoky slate, because I don't want any of this ink to kind of go past my stamped image. Let's see, so let's bring in the dark berry burst. And I'm doing this with a very light touch, because these images are fairly small. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to bring in the ivory, and I'm going to do his face. Now it's a ghost, technically, and I could have just left this white, but the whole background's all white, so I wanted to add some color. And then I'm going to fill in the cape. Actually, I missed a part. I want to add some of my dark berry burst right inside here. Okay. So I'm going to fill in these areas with the light berry burst, and then the cape I'm going to fill in with my dark smoky slate. So I'm filming this actually on Monday the 28th. This is a week in which there's a lot of video content, actually back-to-back days of video content. So for Thursdays, there's always my Throwback Thursdays, and then it turns out that Halloween also is falling on Thursday, so that's 2 videos right there. And then tomorrow, in which it's Friday, and it's also the first of the month, I have my monthly Christmas card inspiration that I do on the 1st. And then it's also Friday, so that means it's Friday Night Live. So for my Christmas card inspiration, I'm going to be using a standalone stamp set that is in our current holiday mini, the Yuletide Village. And then for my Friday Night Live, I will be featuring the Reindeer Days Sweet Collection that is also in that very same catalog. Starting tomorrow, from November through Christmas, it's going to be all about the Christmas stuff. I do have plenty of product from this new holiday mini, so I want to make sure that I try to use as much of it as I can while the catalog is still current. I had found that in doing my Throwback Thursdays that I have quite a bit of stamp sets in which I had never even put ink to it, so I'm trying to get better in not only using the stamps but also using the DSP, because I have a lot of DSP too, and because you know that it's going to retire, of course, then you kind of hoard it, and then you don't want to use it because you know you won't be able to get it anymore. But when you have to move boxes of it, then it's like at that point, yeah, you think they're always coming out with new paper, so use the paper. All right, so now we got that. Let me move my paper. And then I'm going to take my liquid glue. I'm going to use my liquid glue for this. I want to bring in this piece of berry burst. Add some glue to the back of that. And I will center it. Like so. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. And I have a sheet here that I started. Okay. So I'm going to add some on here. And then I'm going to bring in my mini ones. And I'm going to add 2 to my greeting. Now I'm putting this more to the bottom of the greeting because the top part of this label is going to overlap just a little bit on top of this piece here. Okay, so let's remove these. Okay, and then I'm going to add this right here. So I'm overlapping on that glimmer paper a little bit. And let's remove these backings. And this is going to go right over here. It's overlapping just a little bit. Okay, so for my embellishments on this one, I am going to use, these are the adhesive back sparkle gems. So these come in a champagne black and a white. So I'm going to add some of these black ones. Bring in my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to add a few onto here. Like so. Move that out of the way. Okay. So there is our first card. So let me kind of clean this up and let me bring in everything for my second card. Okay, so this one we're going to do the Witch Ghost and the Trick or Treat. And then we have a cloud. Okay. So we're pretty much using all the stamps in here, except there's one little stamp that has this bat with the stars on it. Couldn't quite get it to fit on that first card that we made, so it's the only one that we are not using. Okay. So put these on blocks. So we don't need such a big block. Okay. All right, so now let me get all the pieces and parts for this one. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. So I have a piece of peach pie. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. I have a piece of gorgeous grape. This is 5 1/4 by 4, and ahead of time I had embossed it using this really large embossing folder. This is in our annual catalog. This is the Dotted Circles 3D embossing folder. And then out of the Stylish Shapes dies, these ones right here, I had die cut these two circles out of a scrap of peach pie and basic white. And out of the smaller circle, I got a smaller basic white scrap. And then from that Glimmer specialty paper, this is the white. So when you look at it, it's really more of an iridescent type white. So this is one whole, this is what the die cuts out. I just snipped it kind of sort of in half because I needed it to be a little bit longer so I can have it stick out from my peach pie circle. Okay, so I want to start off and fold and burnish my card base. Okay. And then for this embossed piece here, I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. And I'm going to add some glue on the back of this. Okay. And then I'm going to center this on my card base like so. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to close up this glue. Okay, so on this white circle, the larger one, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. Makes it a little bit easier on seeing this. And I'm going to bring in my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Again, I'm inking up my witch ghost image with this because we will be coloring it in with our Stampin' Blends. Okay. And we're going to stamp this like so. Okay. We'll set that aside so that way that dries some before we go and color on it. And then for my trick or treat, I'm going to bring in my stays on. And we'll stamp this right in the middle. Okay. We'll set that aside. We'll bring in our scrap paper. And I'm going to quickly clean off my stamps. Get this one a little bit better. All right. Now, on this one with the ghost, I also want to stamp, there is a cloud image in there, so I want to take this and I want my smoky slate ink. Okay, I'm going to ink this up and then I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to add my clouds. Okay, so that's good. Set that aside. All right, so let me get this out of the way. And let me quickly clean this. All right, so now the blends that I'm going to use for this. So we have Gorgeous Grape cardstock, but we do not have blends in Gorgeous Grape. So I am going to use instead my dark Highland Heather, and I'm also going to use dark Peach Pie, and let's see, light Smoky Slate, and then light Wild Wheat, and light Pecan Pie. All right. So I'm going to take my Highland Heather and I'm going to start with the hat. And again, because there's just like very small areas here, I'm going very lightly, so I'm not coming down hard on to the cardstock. And as you can see, the dark Highland Heather kind of comes close to that gorgeous grape color. Okay, and then I'm going to do the cape. Okay. Then on my broom, I'm going to use my light wild wheat. Okay. And then my light pecan pie for the broom handle. Okay. Then I'm going to take my dark peach pie and I'm going to color this little patch right here on the hat. And then this band on the hat. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in the light wild wheat again, and I'm going to do this buckle. Alright, and then one other color I did not pull out, the light, okay, hold on. The light flirty flamingo. And I'm going to actually do some cheeks on this ghost. And I'll do the tongue as well. Okay, and then the light smoky slate. I'm going to add some shadow underneath this cape, and I see that I missed a spot. All the way over here. And then underneath the hat. Okay, so let me bring back my Highland Heather. There is a little spot that I missed. Okay, so we got that colored in. So now it's time to do some assembling. So let me get these out of the way. Okay, I'm going to get my glue. Add some to the back. Okay, and I'll center that on my peach pie. Okay, so when I lay this down on my card base, I want to have my ghost look like it's kind of like going up. So I'm going to take these two pieces here. I'm going to kind of have this back behind it like so. So for this, I'm going to bring in my Scotch tape again. Okay. And then I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to have that about there. I'll tape it down. Okay, and then I'm going to take this end. I want this to come out some. And I'm going to look at this to see that it's kind of lined up with this. So when I put it down, it'll look like it's one big long continuous piece on the back. Like so. Looks like this one can come in just a little bit more. Okay, that's better. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. I'm going to add on that banner piece. Okay, we'll remove these. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and put this on my card. Now I'm kind of putting it in the middle, so of course we have the circle there, so this will fit right in there like so. Okay, and then on my trick or treat circle, I am going to add this right here, so I want it more down there. And so this way it stays down. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Seal. I'm going to add some on this opposite side since this is going to be overlapping my bigger circle. Okay. And then I'm going to place this right here. And then let's let's see, then we want our embellishment. So I'm using that same, what is this, the adhesive back sparkle gems. This time I'm going to use these white ones. We got some larger ones and we got some smaller ones. Like so. Okay, so there is our second card. Okay, so let me get the stuff for our third card and pull out the stamps that we need. So this one I'm going to use the ghost with the pumpkin and the boo and the pumpkins. Okay. Alright, so I want to try and get my pumpkin. Get this one kind of straight. The pumpkins. And then my boo. I do want to get this straight. Okay. All right. So now let me bring in all of my pieces. And again, a lot of this I did a lot of cutting, die cutting ahead of time. And this time we're using that other glimmer paper, the old olive. Okay, so my card base is basic black, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Added scrap pieces of crushed curry, pumpkin pie, and basic white. I had used the Countryside Corners dies. I used the 3 larger sized ones on this one. Okay, so then on, let's see, we're going to stamp our ghost first, so that way we give it a chance to dry before we color it in. Okay, so since I'm coloring this in, I'm going to bring in my Memento ink. I'm going to ink up my ghost. And I'm going to stamp this like down here. Okay. And then with my Stays On ink, I'm going to ink up my boo. And I'm going to stamp this. Right here. Like so. Set that aside to dry. And bring my Stampin' Scrub in. And we'll clean our stamps really quick. All right. Then let me bring this in along with my scrap paper. And my piece of pumpkin pie, I'm going to use the pumpkins And I'm going to use my stays on. And I'm going to randomly stamp this on the background. Okay. Let's add just a little bit of another one over here. Okay. We'll set that aside. For some reason when I stamped it looked like I got more concentration of ink on the tops than I do on the bottom, but it'll be okay. Alright, so let me clean this stamp. This takes care of all of the stamping. I apologize again for the phone shaking. Okay. So one of the things that I want to do, so let me move, I'm going to move that out of the way. I want to kind of move some stuff because my next part that I'm going to do here could be a little bit messy. So I just want to move some stuff out of the way so I don't make a mess. Alright, so I am going to bring in a larger piece of scrap. And I'm going to place this down right here. I'm going to take my crushed curry piece and the pumpkin pie. I'm going to bring in, let's see, hold on one second. I'm going to grab my dark basic black. Okay, so for this step, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. So with your Stampin' Blend, there's two different ways you could do it. I'm going to show you that. We're going to use that. Or there's the black Stampin', basic black Stampin' Right marker. Now, we're going to do some spritzing on these pieces. So one of the options that you have on the brush tip end, and there's the cap, if you put the tip of the marker into the cap and you flick it, you'll get some of the spritzing on your cardstock. Another option, now I haven't been able to find this anywhere. I know at one point in time Hobby Lobby did sell this. It was a Tim Holtz. It was like a spritzing tool. You can put your marker into this and have this tip right there at the base of the brush tip of the marker, and when you squeezed it with the air, it would add some of the splatters on here. Another option is that the whole cap with the brush tip on your marker, it's another option. You can do that. The only problem with doing that, these tips are very sensitive, so you will easily end up ruining the tip of that marker. So what I'm going to do, this is the other option. I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to tap, and you can see that it's creating some splatters. They're fine splatters, but they're splatters nonetheless. Okay. So that kind of saves the tip of your marker as well. And of course, then you end up with it all over your bone folder, but an alcohol swab will work fine on getting that off. And you can see that I kind of got splatters all up here, so it's an alcohol marker, so I will just take an alcohol swab on that and clean that up later on. Okay, so let's take these two pieces and okay, so what I can do, I can kind of assemble some of this card already. So I'm going to fold and burnish my card base. Now again, like all of these cards, I don't have an inside in them. You can easily take a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece of basic white or any light color cardstock. You can put it inside, you can stamp a greeting, you can just write something in there. I'm just creating the outside of the card. Alright, so I'm going to take this crushed curry piece and my seal adhesive. I'm going to add some to the back of this. And I'm going to place this down kind of like centered and off to the right hand side of my card base. Like so. And then this pumpkin pie piece, I'm going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to add this off to the left and kind of centering it. Like so. Okay, and I'll set that aside. Then let me bring in my scrap paper and the image that we stamped. It looked like I may have got a little bit of spritzing on that, even though I had it off to the side. Okay, let's see, what do I want for this one? For this one, I want my dark pumpkin pie and my light. I got my light and my dark gold olive. And then I have my light and dark daffodil delight. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my dark old olive. I'm just going to add a little bit to the base of that stem of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to take my light daffodil delight and I'm going to color in the mouth, and the eyes of my jack-o'-lantern. And we'll do this edging of the top there. Okay. And then I'm going to take my light pumpkin pie and I'm going to color in the pumpkin top and then this pumpkin here. and then we got this one little part here between the eyes and the mouth. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in that light flirty flamingo again. And I'll add the cheeks and color the tongue. Okay, so then the light Old Olive, I'll finish off the stem there. Okay, and then the dark Daffodil Delight. I'm going to add a little bit of this dark on the outer edges. My Daffodil Delight blends seem to be really inky, so they're tending to bleed through. Okay, so then for my dark pumpkin pie, I'm gonna kind of go around these lines here. I'll do the same at the top. And I'll just add a little bit on the base here. Okay, now this will all end up drying lighter. I'm going to take, let's see, my light Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to kind of fix this here. Kind of blend that a little bit. Okay, and then my light pumpkin pie. Bring this in again. Kind of blend those lines out a little bit. Okay. Alright, so now let's do our assembling. Alright, so these two pieces of the green, I am going to bring in my silicone craft sheet, and I'm going to take some of my seal and I'm going to put some on these two side edges here. Okay. And then I'm going to take these two pieces and place that right there. I want some sticking out on either edge. Okay, I'll press those down. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. Okay, then we'll add one on the top and the bottom. These. Okay, we got all those off. And bring our card back in, and then this will be centered right here, like so. And then we're going to bring in the same sparkle gems, and we're going to use the black ones on this one as well. So I'm going to use these last 3 large black ones on here. Then one right in there. Okay, so there is our 3rd card. So let me bring in the other 2 that I have completed. So we had our vampire ghost, and then our witch ghost. Make sure that I keep this in the screen, and then we have our pumpkin ghost. Okay, so there are our projects for my Halloween special. So again, happy Halloween to those of you that actually celebrate the holiday. So this is posting early in the morning, and of course usually trick-or-treating doesn't happen until, you know, the evening hours. So for those of you that are going to be participating in that, stay safe. If you live in an area where it's going to be pretty cool, stay warm. And here we're supposed, well, again, I'm recording this on Monday, but here we're supposed to be getting like rain and I think thunderstorms. So I don't know what'll happen in the evening hours. So stay dry too. So thank you again for joining me for this special Halloween episode. If you like the projects that I made, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like, all of that stuff does help in not only growing my YouTube channel and getting my videos out there to some new people, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up! Business. So again, tomorrow on Friday, I will have posted early in the morning my monthly Christmas card inspiration. I create 2 Christmas cards, fairly simple, duplicatable cards that give you some inspiration throughout the year for creating your Christmas cards early and getting them done before Christmas. So that will be posting first thing in the morning, and then at 7 p.m. right here, I will be going live, and I will be featuring the Reindeer Days Sweet Collection. We are starting the Christmas stuff, so I hope you can join me. What I do in my lives, I do a wheel of names at the very end of the video, and 3 winners get to choose one of the cards that I made that night. So I hope you can join me, and if not, feel free to watch the replay, because again, I know some people, that do celebrate it will probably be doing stuff with their kids or have something going on. But hope you can join me. And again, the what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, so our starter kit special that ends today, the 31st. Also, our kits collection up to 30% off, that ends today. And if you would like more information about all of that, I do have the links for them in the description of the video. And as far as the starter kit special goes, if you have any questions at all about that, feel free to reach out to me. My email address, it is in the description. And also, I do have a monthly newsletter that I send out to my subscribers. If you that newsletter will let you know my video schedule for the whole month of November. It will also have the stuff that I personally have going on as far as classes. I will be doing my in-person class actually later in November, since the first few Saturdays are kind of tied up with other things. I will be featuring the Reindeer Fun Suite collection, the same one that I will be using tomorrow night, but they will be different projects. So I have that information in there. The new kits that Stampin' Up! Will be coming out with. Now, chances are it'll probably be November 5th when my newsletter goes out, because that's when we'll find out what those new kits are going to be. I'll also include any information that's Stampin' Up!, maybe any promotions or sales or anything like that that they may have, that they let us know ahead of time. So I'll let you know about that as well. So if you would like to receive my newsletter, like I said, I typically only send out one a month, usually near the beginning, but then sometimes I will send one out maybe in the middle of the month. That's only if Stampin' Up, comes out with some kind of special or sale or something like that. They sometimes they don't let us know about that ahead of time. So that would be the reason why I would send out another one to you. So if you would like to receive my newsletters, I do have a link for that in the description of the video. All you do is click on that, add your name and your email address, and then you'll be on my list, and I'll send out my newsletters when I send them out. So again, thank you everybody for joining me. Happy Halloween to all of you that are actually celebrating. And I will see you tomorrow night right here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll be starting Christmas. So everyone, have a blessed one. Bye bye.